Hi guys, welcome to Finding Flabulous, a diet blog of a flabulous diva. It's fantastic to see you here. I'm going to be doing this quite regularly now, so keep on tuning in. My topic of choice is my life as a fat woman. I used to be a very, very, very big fat woman. I mean, my ass was like 150 pounds just on its own type of thing. I actually tipped the scale at about 334 pounds at one stage, 152 kilos for them that deal in kilos. But for the last 2 years, I've been on my own weight loss journey. However, I can still laugh at how I was when I was fat, and you can track my progress actually at www.findingflabulous.com. There's actually pictures and a few little things there, a blog and everything to have a look at. But when my friend said that I should start YouTubing, I thought she was absolutely crazy, because I thought, what, me, video camera, 50 million people? I don't think so. But, the more I thought about it, the more I just thought, wow, it's a fantastic opportunity. And my subject of choice is going to be my life as a fat woman. Some of the things I'll talk about are really embarrassing situations that I found myself in as a fat woman. But, I hope that people get a bit of a laugh out of it, because I can laugh at it now. And for those people out there that are fat, I hope you don't get offended by what I talk about, because, although we're fat, it's not who we are. It doesn't define us as a person. It's just, we've got a few more pounds on us than everybody else. So I just want to create a video blog that is just totally out there and wild and funny. And I hope you guys keep on tuning in. Today, my topic of choice in specific is going to be transportation. How do you get round as a fat woman? I mean, we're talking about planes, buses, taxis, public transport. It is a horror. Here we go. When I was fat, I would have to plan my day to be on the bus when it wasn't busy, because as a fat woman, I needed 2 seats, literally 2 seats for one butt cheek on either side. And if I tried to squeeze my substantial butt on one seat, I would end up squashing the person next to me right up and against the window, and it's not a good look. And I tell you what, the scorn and the looks that I got when I would hop on the bus, it was like everyone would be like putting their bags down, so that I don't sit next to them, because I was scared that I'd sit on them, literally. And the funny thing is, I probably did, The hardest thing is that even with the 2 seats, my ample butts would still overflow into the aisles. So trying to navigate people coming in and down, in and out of the bus was, if I went that way, I'd just squeeze that person a bit more into the seat. And if I went that way, I'd totally block people from leaving the bus. So I sort of ended up having to maneuver myself forward and turn myself on an angle just to be able to let people pass. I mean, if you think that's bad, oh my God, an airplane. I mean, I love traveling, and I've traveled, pretty much most around the world. I mean, you name it, I've been there, sort of. Still places I want to go. But, as much as I love traveling, I hate planes, and I hate plane cabins, and I hate plane seats. I mean, you not only got to get on the plane, and it's like you walk past and you see people, and it's like you walk past that weighing scale for your luggage, and, it's like people look at you like, oh, maybe we should be weighing you, because you're a bit more than a one-person weight type of thing, But anyway, you get past that point, and the embarrassment of, people thinking that you should be weighed before you enter the plane, and people thinking that, maybe you going on the plane is going to make the plane fall apart or something. You get past that point to when you get in the doors, and there's the hostess, and they're all very nice, and welcoming you on the plane, and then you turn, and you're at the entrance of the cabin, and you can see, on either side, there are people everywhere, and the problem with plane aisles is that they are so narrow. I mean, we are talking about a 150-pound ass trying to get up from the entrance of the plane right up to the back seat, you know, and you're standing there, and I'm standing there thinking, oh my God, how am I going to get up there? You know, because you've got one person on this side and he's like with his arm out leaning against the aisle, and then you've got another person on the other side of the aisle doing the same thing. So it's like the width of the aisle just gets smaller and smaller with every person that's in those seats, you know, and you're standing there thinking, how am I going to navigate this aisle, you know, without knocking someone out? And so you end up having to walk up the plane, and you're like doing this little jig as you go. You know, there's someone on that side, so you go that side. Then there's someone on that side, so you go that side. And so, you know, I call it the plane jig, you know, because you find yourself sort of dancing up the plane. It's really quite hilarious. But one day, I must admit, I miscalculated, and there was this woman there, and she just sat down, and she was just getting to stand up just as something caught my attention, and I like full on did a turn. The problem was my butt connected with her face, and she went flying back against the chair, and it was so embarrassing. But it's like, what do you say? Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry, my butt connected with your face. I mean, hello, you know. And the airplane seats, I mean, hello, how do they expect me to fit my 150-pound ass into those tiny little, these like theatre stall vices, because they're so narrow, you know, and fit. I mean, I would walk off a plane by the end of the journey, and I would literally have bruises at either side of my leg, because the plane seats are just so damn narrow. And I mean, every plane I had to go in, I always had to ask for an airplane seat extension. I mean, how embarrassing, you know, every plane, always, excuse me, can I please have a seat extension? And, you know, the air hostess would come, and dragging behind her is this like 50-foot, you know, seatbelt extension, because I can't fit the normal airplane seatbelt. But, you know, one of the quintessential times when my weight has really caught up with me was when I sat in an exit seat, right? And just before the plane was about to fly off, I had this very serious air hostess come up to me and say, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to ask you to move because only people that are fit and able to assist in an emergency situation are actually supposed to sit in these seats. And I was just like, I am maybe fat, but I am able. And then I just had this thought of, well, okay, fair enough, because, you know, if the plane crashed and if we had to, you know, open the exit door and, you know, roll out the floatable slide or whatever, you know, try getting my ass through that door. I mean, I'd probably end up being a blockage rather than an assistance. Oh, yeah, I'll go. Oops, I'm stuck. But I think, you know, public transport has always had its issues for me. I mean, getting into a taxi is one thing. You know, in taxis in Australia, you all have to wear seatbelts. You know, I would always make sure I got into the front seat of a taxi, because if I went into the back seat of the taxi, there is no blinking way I could get those seatbelts, back seat seatbelts, over my body. So I ended up having to take so many trips where I was completely unsecured in terms of seatbelts, because, you know, I'd just be holding it there just in case the cops come, you know. Well, that just about wraps things up for this session. I hope you'll join in again soon. I'm planning to release quite a few of these over the next few weeks with lots more stories to tell. Look, I'm not an actor, I'm not a comedian, I'm just an ordinary, everyday woman with one gigantic ass and lots of stories to tell. So tune on in. Thank you for viewing, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.